Hi, Nicholas on film. Today I'm going to be reviewing Alpha, directed by Albert Hughes, one of the Hughes brothers. It's a prehistoric movie, and it's about a guy and his dog. So, a quick overview of the film from Voodoo, which is now referred to as Fandango at Home. Alpha is an adventure set in the last ice age. While on his first hunt with his tribe's most elite group, a young man is injured and left for dead. Awakening to find himself broken and alone, he must learn to survive and navigate the harsh and unforgiving wilderness. Reluctantly taming a lone wolf abandoned by its pack, the pair learns to rely on each other and become unlikely allies, enduring countless dangers and overwhelming odds in order to find their way home. I guess we're introduced to them in this knife sharpening contest. So there's a committee that are going around and testing out how sharp each of these young bucks' knives are, which are like rocks which they chiseled or carved against somehow. And everyone's disappointment. It's not sharp enough as he's like going through the knives. But then he reaches this one boy and he tests the edge and blood starts dripping out his finger, and then he's smiling. And he's like, okay, you win. It's like he's happy that he just got sliced open. And then he's kind of a scrawny looking kid, but when he stands, he's pretty tall. You're like, oh, and then you find out that his dad is with them too, and he just adores him. So that's the initial bonds that we see, is this father-son thing going on, and it's basically like the dad's trying to teach his boy how to be as tough as he is, and apparently going on these expeditions is how to do that. But there's one obstacle after another, and it leads to that bison situation, which I think I've mentioned, and the build up to what we already know is happening gets my attention, so hopefully anyone else too. I think it's a visually sumptuous film, and you can't ask for more from a movie which also delivers in other departments as well. This is one of those movies that's like, it feels like it's, I kind of split up the watching of it. I don't know if that's recommended, but we're allowed to these days. But it feels like two movies in one, if not more, because it's like the first half is like the going on the expedition and bonding with family, and also being very concerned about the dangers of leaving the safety zone. And then it's like the second half is like abandoned, left for dead, hopeless, but finding a source of life and holding on for dear life, and just moving forward regardless of the inability to know the outcome of the situation, and just like survival mode and miracle after miracle. And it's like when I was watching the second half, it's like I felt like it's just such a giant shift to have that comfort of the safety, not only of like your base, but of those around you who are helping each other, even though even then it's not that safe. But then just being completely like on your own, and finding other creatures who can assist, not necessarily human, thus being Alpha, specifically the dog or wolf or the wolf dog, and just like pushing through and charging and just moving forward and just succeeding. It just makes you forget that whole first part. I was like, oh, that was like a different world. It's like, and then it's like, I guess that's where growth comes from. But yeah, I liked that. It's like two for the price of one. So it's how it would be in real life, and it's captured very well in this film. I have to commend, again, I'm sure I mentioned it, but the choice of Chuck the dog. I like how it was just one. I'm not sure if they used more. They probably had stunt dogs, but the casting choice of this animal was spot on. I'm not sure if they held auditions or what, but you can just like see it in its eyes, and it has, this dog has range and very human, almost better than most humans as an actor. So it tugged my heartstrings later on. I'm trying to remember the precise moment, but it caught me off guard, and I remember I was just like, okay, this is a good movie. It's like, oh, okay, where's the tissues? Because I might need them real soon here. So I was like, yeah, if it gets in your skin in that way, they did their job. So yeah, 2018, Alpha, Cody Smith-McPhee, Albert Hughes, Johannes Johansson, Chuck the Dog, and Natasha Mouth. Screenwriter Daniel Wiederhaupt. For some reason, I thought the screenwriter was Daniel Wiederhaupt. Maybe it is, so I'll have to double check that. But when I read it, I remember thinking it was a guy, and I read some interviews. But according to the streaming service I was on, it said Danielle. All it had to do was add that little E at the end, and all of a sudden it's a female, which kind of makes sense. This movie has this strong emotional core, which you don't always see in the male output. But then, not to say that they can't do it, but it's a natural thing for most women. And so I can see if she had the little E at the end of her name. Maybe I missed it before. But yeah, so it's a really good movie, and I like to see that the Hughes brothers, even though they're not working together, are still just as passionate and gung-ho about getting their product made and out there as they were together. So I'm very interested to see what Albert Hughes has coming up next, and also Alan Hughes, his brother as well. So this is my take on that, and Nicholas on Film. Until next time, over and out.